arrest? On what charges? This is outrageous. This is a conspiracy. If I were white with a penis, would this have happened? This is a conspiracy. Bogus leaders, communists, traitors.
Domain, my area, my surroundings. He said, no, what's a derriere? Man, get your ass out my face. Well, he stormed out of here saying that he'll make sure I never smoke again. I'm scared now. Even in death, society wants to control me. But it ain't gonna work. Well, welcome to my humble home. Gathered you here this evening because you called me. Well, yes, you did. You conjured me up. It all started when a young lady, a college student, put flowers on my grave. Since then, the weeds around my grave have turned into flowers. I'm touched. The only words that can express how I feel are, it's about time. I wish I could hold this gathering only to discuss how I incorporated anthropology into my writing. How I engulfed myself in a particular group's culture. I ate with them, slept with them, and occasionally played with them. Men, adults only. However, when you're in the public's eye, your personal life overshadows your artistic and scientific contributions you have made to mankind. The public, with the help of the newspapers, becomes your parents' judge and jury. God forbid you go against their will. They'll concoct a tale that the devil himself could not conceive. And nothing can repair the damage to your career, your reputation, or your sanity. Nothing. I've never harmed anyone. I'm a writer and a scientist. You want me? Granted, you shall have me, but not all of me. However, before we journey up and down this rocky road, I will not divulge sordid tales of the dead nor the living. If someone from my past is insulted, I won't apologize. They're probably my critics. Well, let's begin. Once upon a time was a good old time. Monkey chewed tobacco and spit white lime. The air was fresh, the grass was green. Mama's apple cobbler could be smelled from miles away. Hush your mouth, Mr. Sweet Smell. I hear a buggy. Ooh, get ready, Miss Cornshuck. We going for a little ride. Stop your fussing. We have to hurry or else we'll get another beating for riding with strangers. Welcome to Ianville, Florida, home of me, Zorba Neale Hurston. Oh, no, don't leave. A penny for your time? Just for a little ride. We'll have lots of fun, riding towards the sun. How do you do, Mr. and Missy? I sure would love to hitch a ride in your beautiful buggy. I know it's an automobile. It's still a buggy. Just don't got no horses. Where am I going? Where are you going? I'm going north too. I'm 7 years old, man. How old are you? I'm too young. Well, how about 10 years old? 11? Don't leave. I could be 12. I didn't want to go in that ugly old car with you anyway, you old ugly bullfrogs. Oh, there'll be another one. Mrs. Cornshuck, I do declare, always look mighty nice. Well, you don't mean that at all, Mr. Sweet Smell. You are prettier than a dandelion and sweeter than a lemon. Mr. Cornshuck, with words like that, you deserve a peck. Ooh, Miss Cornshuck, I have to say, you may hate it, but your breath stinks. I love to tell stories, and I love to hear them. That's why I asked a lot of questions. Always turning to a story. One day I asked Mama, how was I made? She ain't saying nothing for a long time, and then she finally said, God put you inside my stomach for 9 months. I was inside your stomach for 9 months? That's what Mama said. Mama said I came out of her kicking and screaming and carrying on like a ball of fire. Nobody was home, so all Mama could do was look at me and holler and cry. Mama and daughter joined by the umbilical cord. Mama said nobody was home, so Mr. Smith luckily came by and he cut the umbilical cord. Mama said she still don't know why to this day that white man parades me around town even now. I don't mind. He buys me everything I want. Matter of fact, why people been buying me things ever since? I told Mama I still don't know how I was made. But she said, go to the room and ask your Papa. So I went to the next room where Papa was reading the Bible. Papa, how was I made? Papa didn't say nothing for a long time either. And then he finally said, I was inside Mama's stomach for 9 months. I told him that Mama already told me that. He said, did I tell you that I asked God to make you? Yes, I did. I prayed for lots and lots of babies. Before I laid me down to sleep, I prayed. Before I stretched my arms in the morning, I prayed. 9 months later, you were born. I saw what God had delivered, and that's when I had a man-to-man talk with the Lord. Lord, I am reverend on Sunday and mayor on Monday. I travel up and down the countryside, building homes and stamping them with your blessing. I am your humble servant. But God, why'd you give me a girl? Girls can't do nothing. Besides, I already had one. But that's when I peed on him. Papa said that was God's way of telling him he should be happy to have a healthy baby with the Hurston eyes, the Hurston nose, and the Hurston coconut head. Papa, was I pretty? No, you just like you are now. Beautiful. Then Papa started walking back and forth saying, what is it can you be? What is it can you be? I told him, write. I want to write books. But you'll be a missionary and write about God. I can be anything I want. I could be better than you. Why I say that for? Papa's eyes turned blazing red and he was coming for me. I hollered, Mama! Mama bust in the room and I ran behind her for protection. She pleaded with Papa to leave me alone. Papa said, get out my way, Lucy. I aim to give this girl a good school lesson. She's too spirited. Why people ain't gonna put up with her mess? That's when Mama grew from this big to this big. She said, I ain't raising my babies for no white people. They ain't gonna be no over the creek niggas with no pots to pee in or no beds to push them under. But Papa, being an over the creek nigga himself, was exasperated. He ran out and Mama ran behind him saying, Joe, you better come home before the sun sets. Just remember, Joe, there is another man over the fence waiting to fill your shoes. You can't keep talking to your papa like that. I can, but you can't. Look at the sun, Zora. I want you to jump as high as the sun. Matter of fact, I want you to jump at the sun. You might not get there, but at least you'll get off the ground. Mama wants us to be smart and proud children. She was a school teacher and she taught us how to read and write before we even started school. She pays close attention to me. I'm her favorite. She doesn't laugh at me when I tell her about the birds and the squirrels and the goats that talk to me. So when I jump at the sun, Mama's coming with me. I have to go. It's getting late. I might be Mama's favorite, but that doesn't stop her from tearing up my hind parts. Besides, I have to find out how I was made. Shh! I hear another buggy. Welcome to Eden, Florida, home of me, Zora Neale Hurston. weaves in your dreams. And it's distressing when they don't. Especially when it's someone from your family. Hurts when it's your own. I've been dead for over 60 years and now I'm the conversation at literary parties and gatherings. That is colored people's literary gatherings. Now, I didn't expect much from my white colleagues, but my colored colleagues never cease to amaze me. My people, my people. But why should I be surprised? The Northerners usually held my taste and my name in bad taste. Those colored Yankees would say that their ancestry was in New York, Philadelphia, and Boston. I would always interject via Fatback, Georgia, honey. They were ashamed of me because I represented what they had left behind. And that's when the whispers began. I was counter-revolutionary, a sellout, a Tom. All because I told darky folk tales. I didn't see nothing counter-revolutionary about Joe Clark's storefront porch. Every town had a Joe Clark storefront porch. That's where people told big old lies, and they played by the dozens. It wasn't nothing but men folk on the porch chattering. But some of them lies weren't for children, so I would just sneak around the porch and wait for someone to tell a lie. That's where I learned that women are smarter than men. Oh, those were good times. I would hear Mama calling for me, Zora, you better not be on Joe Clark's porch listening to them lies. Come on, Zora. Zora! Oh, God. Mama was short and weighed about 90 pounds. Whenever we would get out of line, she would take us by the hand and say, I didn't raise you like that. You know better than that. You have to love and respect yourself or nobody else will. Then she'd beat the living daylights out of us. She was so sweet. Everyone in Eatonville loved Mama. And I'm not just saying that because she was my mother, because it was the truth. I told Mama about my visions of being poor, orphaned, and abandoned. She said that would never happen. She would always be near my heart. And if she died today, she'd be right by my side. I was 9 years old when Mama died. I watched her fight death to the very end. One day she called me in her room. There were 4 lamps positioned on each corner of the room. Fires from the lamps created giant images, weeping willows ready to embrace my mother. Death was there. Well, she beckoned me to come closer and she said, Zora, don't you ever lose it. Your zest for life. Remember to jump at the sun. Don't let them take the pillow from under my head until after I'm dead. Nor let them cover the looking glass or the clock. Don't worry, Mama, I won't. 2 days later, she died. At the funeral, I cried loudly and I cursed silently. restrained by the older folks, and I couldn't fulfill Mama's last request. They put Mama's small coffin in the back of the wagon. It was so hard for me to walk. I just rocked myself and wailed and wailed. Some of the children tried to comfort me. Poor Papa. I've never seen him in so much pain. I wanted to hug him, but I couldn't. Back at the house, I went into my mother's room and I sat on the edge of the bed. Mrs. Lucy Hurston had been a good wife and mother. All of a sudden, the rays from the sun came shining through the windows. Those visions I told Mama about resurfaced and painted themselves on the walls. Each picture depicted my struggle to be. I held my face in my hands and I cried. Everyone is born with intelligence. Papa Franz had a way of determining someone's intelligence. And Papa Franz was world-renowned anthropologist Franz Boas, whom I had the pleasure of studying under. I was the only one at Barnard that called him Papa Franz because I was his favorite student. If he were here today, he would say, Zora, the people on this side aren't intelligent. I'm sorry, it is the truth. The people on this side are intelligent. And it's because they have big heads. But Zora, I noticed you have a big head. I want you to go and collect the Negroes' head measurements. Oh, Papa Franz, you want me to go to Harlem and collect the Negroes' head measurements? That don't sound like an intelligent idea. It is if you want to keep your scholarship at Barnard. Papa Franz, when do I begin? Papa Franz thought I was special. I told him my father said everybody is the same. There's nobody special. You got a lot of people walking around here not knowing they just as special as the next person. See, I knew I was gonna be a great writer someday. And I was special because I knew I was smart. My father was right. Being special is knowing that you're smart. It's been 3 weeks. School is closed. The bill hasn't been paid. Pop still hasn't picked me up. When he gets here, I don't even know what to tell him. The principal has been on my back. She's been badgering me about the bill. That woman was relentless. Zora, we've been unable to successfully contact your father. You can stay, but you're gonna have to work until he picks you up. So go to my office office and scrub the floors. Yes, ma'am. That woman was so relentless. One day she said, Zora, this is not a charity service, but an educational institution. We don't allow nobody but the creme de la crop in here. Well, I interrupted her and said, don't you mean the creme de la creme? Well, the woman's face went from high yellow to hot red. She said, you ain't nothing but a 14-year-old spoiled brat. You ain't gonna be coming here no more. I said, ma'am, I didn't mean no harm. I'm just saying what the school taught me. Jacksonville, Florida was strange. I couldn't eat where I wanted, play, or even sit down for a rest. Everyone was so cold. All because of Jim Crow. I said, ma'am, Papa's not well. Ever since he married my evil stepmother, she's been making bad decisions and telling him to kick us out of the house. She said, Zora, just continue to scrub the floors. I don't know what's wrong with Papa. When Mama was alive, he didn't act like this. I'm gonna have to tell the principal he's still sick. Oh, here she comes. There's something different about her today. She could barely look me in my face. Ma'am? Zora, we were able to contact your father. He wrote us a letter. I don't know how to tell you this, so I'll let you read it. As you know, Zora is a very smart girl. She's the smartest one in our family. Papa paying me a compliment? Since my wife's death, I haven't been making enough money to send to the school. I cannot support Zora or her education. So I'm offering Zora to you. The school can adopt her. She likes to learn and can be trained as a teacher. This is the best I can do for my daughter. Zora's a very special girl. I trust you with her. God bless John Huston. A black hole has replaced my soul. Papa was giving me away. I need Mama to come and wrap her arms around me right now. Papa was giving me away? The spring breeze coming through the window feels like a hurricane. Leaving my soul twisted and knotted and destroyed.